The slap echoed before anyone saw her move. Zara Okoye's head snapped to the side, her braids whipping across her cheek as silence swallowed the grand dining hall. The crystal chandelier above trembled slightly, like even it felt the tension that had just exploded. "You will not embarrass this family again," Madame Kang said coldly, lowering her hand with slow, deliberate grace. Zara blinked once, twice, then she turned back, slowly, her dark eyes steady, not broken, not weak, just burning. "I didn't embarrass your family," she said, her voice calm but shaking underneath. "I defended myself." A scoff came from across the table. "Defended?" Kang Min-soo leaned back in his chair, swirling his wine. "You insulted a minister's son in public. Do you understand what that means for us?" Zara let out a breath. "He touched me." The room froze again. Min-soo's expression flickered, but only for a second before it hardened. "You should have endured it." Zara laughed. Actually laughed. A sharp, disbelieving sound that made everyone shift uncomfortably. "Endured it?" she repeated. "So that your precious reputation stays intact?" Madame Kang's eyes narrowed. "You forget your place." "No," Zara said quietly, stepping forward. "I think all of you forget who I am." A chair scraped loudly as Kang Min-jae stood. The eldest son, the most powerful man in the room, and her husband. "Enough," he said, his voice low but commanding. Zara turned to him, searching his face for something, anything, but all she saw was control. Always control. "You're defending them?" she asked softly. Min-jae's jaw tightened. "This is not the place." "Then where?" she cut in, her voice rising for the first time. "Where am I allowed to exist in this family, Min-jae? Because clearly it's not here." The silence stretched, thick and suffocating. Then Madame Kang spoke again. "You will apologize tomorrow, publicly." Zara stared at her. Then she shook her head. "No." Gasps rippled through the room. Min-soo slammed his glass down. "Do you have a death wish?" "I have self-respect," Zara shot back. Madame Kang stood slowly this time, her presence towering. "If you refuse, you will no longer be recognized as part of this family." Zara swallowed. For a second, just a second, fear flickered in her eyes. Then it disappeared. "Then maybe it's time I stopped pretending I ever was." She turned, walked, step after step across the marble floor, her heels echoing like a countdown. "Zara," Min-jae called. She didn't stop. "Zara." Still, she kept walking. "Zara." She finally paused at the doorway but didn't turn. "Say it," she said quietly. The room held its breath. Min-jae's voice dropped. "Don't do this." Zara let out a slow breath. Then she glanced back over her shoulder, her eyes locking with his. "I already did," and she walked out. Rain poured heavily outside, soaking the city in silver streaks. Zara didn't run for cover. She walked straight into it. Her makeup smeared, her dress clung to her skin, but she didn't care. Each drop felt like release, like something inside her was finally breaking free. "Mrs. Kang." She stopped, closed her eyes, then turned slowly. The driver stood there, holding an umbrella, looking torn between duty and sympathy. The chairman said, "I'm not Mrs. Kang tonight," she interrupted gently. The driver hesitated. "Where should I take you?" Zara looked up at the sky. For the first time in months, she didn't know, and that terrified her. But also, it felt good. "Anywhere," she said. Back in the mansion, the tension hadn't eased. It had only shifted. "You're going to let her walk out?" Min-soo demanded. Min-jae poured himself a drink, his movements controlled, precise. "She'll come back." Madame Kang watched him carefully. "You sound certain." "I am." But his grip on the glass tightened. Crack. A thin line appeared along the rim. "She has nowhere else to go," Min-soo added smugly. Min-jae didn't respond. But his silence said everything. The car ride was quiet. Too quiet. Zara stared out the window as the city lights blurred into streaks. "Stop here," she said suddenly. The driver blinked. Here? It was a small street. Nothing like the world she had just left. "Please." The car stopped. Zara stepped out, her heels clicking softly now, the rain easing into a drizzle. "Thank you," she said, closing the door. And just like that, she was alone. "You look like you've been through war." Zara looked up sharply. A man leaned against the doorway of a small cafe, watching her. Tall, calm, observant. "I might have," she replied. He smirked slightly. "Then you deserve coffee." Zara hesitated. Then, surprisingly, She smiled. Only if it's strong. Inside, the warmth hit her instantly. The smell of coffee, soft music, a world so far removed from the cold luxury she had just escaped. "I'm Daniel," he said, setting a cup in front of her. "Zara." He raised a brow. "Just Zara?" "For tonight," she said. Daniel studied her for a moment. "You're not from around here." Zara let out a small laugh. "That obvious? You carry yourself like someone who's used to being watched." She paused, then took a sip. "And now? Now you look like someone who's tired of it." That hit, harder than anything else that night. Zara looked down at her cup. "Yeah," she whispered, "I am." Back at the mansion, Min-jae stood alone in their room. Her things were still there. Her scent, her presence. But she wasn't. He loosened his tie, running a hand through his hair. "Damn it, Zara." His phone buzzed. A message from Madame Kang. "She has until tomorrow." Min-jae stared at it, then typed slowly, "She won't apologize." The reply came instantly. "Then she will fall." Min-jae's eyes darkened. "Not if I don't let her." Zara leaned back in her chair, the tension slowly leaving her body. "So," Daniel said casually, "what happens tomorrow?" Zara stared into her cup. "I don't know." He nodded. "That's usually where the interesting stories begin." She looked up at him, a small smile forming. "Then maybe this is mine." The phone slammed against the table before anyone could speak. "She what?" Madame Kang's voice cut through the room like glass. Min-jae didn't flinch this time. He stood across from her, eyes steady, shoulders squared. "She left. I told you." Min-soo scoffed loudly. "No. You said she would come back." A pause. Then Min-jae spoke, slower now. "I said she would, if we treated her like family." Madame Kang's lips tightened. She was treated exactly as she deserved. Min-jae's gaze darkened. "No, she wasn't." The air shifted. "She is a liability," Madame Kang continued, her tone calm but deadly. "A foreign woman with no understanding of our structure, our power. She understands power better than all of us." Min-jae cut in sharply. Silence. "And what makes you say that?" Madame Kang asked. Min-jae stepped forward. "Because she walked away from it." No one spoke, because everyone knew the truth. No one walks away from the Kang family. Zara stared at her reflection in the cafe mirror. Her face was bare, but her eyes were steady. "You're still here," she whispered. A soft knock. "Zara?" Daniel's voice. She opened the door. "I'm okay," she said. Daniel studied her. "You don't look okay." "You look," decided. Zara nodded slowly. "I am." "And what happens now?" She walked past him. "I stop surviving and start taking control." The next morning exploded across every headline. Chaebol family scandal. Mystery wife speaks out. Power, silence, and abuse. Zara watched the screen without blinking. "They're attacking your name," Daniel said. Zara shook her head. "No, they're exposing their fear." She sat down, opened the laptop. "This ends today." "You sure?" Daniel asked quietly. Zara looked up. "I didn't leave that house to stay silent." She pressed record. "My name is Sara Okoye." Her voice was calm, clear. "I was told to stay quiet, to endure disrespect, to protect a name that never protected me." Her eyes hardened. "But I refuse." She paused. "I am not a secret. I am not a mistake. And I will not be erased." She ended the recording, posted it, and the world listened. Everything changed within hours. Support flooded in. Brands pulled away from the Kang family. Investors demanded answers. The power they had protected for decades was cracking. "This is your fault," Min-soo shouted. Madame Kang remained still, but her silence was no longer control, it was calculation. Min-jae stood apart, watching everything collapse. "She didn't destroy us," he said quietly. They both turned. "We did that ourselves." Madame Kang's eyes sharpened. "Then fix it." Min-jae shook his head. "No." That word carried finality. "I'm done protecting a system that destroys people." Min-soo laughed bitterly. "You think she'll take you back after this?" Min-jae didn't answer immediately. Then, "I'm not asking her to." And he walked out. Zara stood on a quiet rooftop, the city stretching endlessly before her. Her phone buzzed. She already knew who it was. Min-jae. She stared at it for a long moment, then answered. "Zara." His voice was softer now, stripped of power. "What do you want?" she asked. A pause. I chose wrong, he said, and I won't ask you to forgive me. Zara said nothing. I just wanted you to know, I'm choosing right now. Her grip tightened slightly on the phone. And what does that mean? It means I walked away. She froze. What? I left the family, the company, everything. Zara turned slowly, her heart pounding. Why? Because you were never the problem, he said. And I'm done being part of one. Silence. Heavy. Real. Then Zara spoke. You think that fixes anything? No, he said honestly. But it's where I start. Zara closed her eyes. For a moment, memories flooded in. Pain. Loneliness. But also, love. She exhaled slowly. When I needed you, she said quietly, you chose them. I know. And now that I'm strong enough to stand alone, you want to come back? I don't want to come back, he said. I want to stand beside you, if you'll let me. Zara opened her eyes. The city lights reflected in them. I'm not the woman you left, she said. I know, he replied. And I'm not coming back to that life. I'm not asking you to. Another silence. Then, what do you want, Minjae? The answer came without hesitation. You. Not ownership. Not control. Just truth. Zara let out a small breath. Then she said the words that changed everything. Then meet me as an equal. Weeks passed. The Kang Empire didn't fall overnight, but it changed. Madame Kang stepped down. Min Su lost influence. And for the first time, the name Kang no longer controlled everything. Zara stood in front of a new building. Glass. Modern. Her name at the top. Okoye Group. Daniel stood beside her, smiling. You really did it, Zara smiled back. No, I rebuilt it. Footsteps approached. She didn't turn immediately, but she knew. Min Jae stopped beside her. No suit, no title, just him. You're late, she said. He smiled slightly. Traffic. She glanced at him. You ready? He nodded. Always. She held his gaze for a moment, then turned toward the building. Good, she said, because we're not ruling anyone this time. He raised a brow. What are we doing? Zara smiled. We're building something better. And together, they walked forward, not as power and possession, but as equals. If you made it to the end of this story, then you already know. Zara didn't just survive, she transformed. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. Did Zara make the right choice choosing equality over revenge? Because more powerful stories like this are coming, and you don't want to miss them.